The less you eat, the more fat you'll burn, right? And not quite. If we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Carrie. I'm a weight loss and body transformation coach and trainer that's helped hundreds of women lose weight and shed fat naturally by eating more food. In fact, I had a client come in one time eating 1,100 calories per day. As a 4'11 female, 37 years old, mom of three, she was working out and eating healthy, but wasn't able to lose weight at a lower calorie count. We spent the first few months boosting her metabolism and increased her calories from 1,100 all the way up 2,600 calories. And yes, as a 4'11, 37-year-old woman, she ended up losing 16 pounds in just 12 weeks by eating more food, not less. In this video, I'm going to share the exact strategy we used on her so that you can apply it to yourself. So let's get into it. So can you really eat over 2,000 calories a day and lose weight and shed fat? Well, there's really two sides of the coin to that. One, someone's telling you to ditch the deficit, eat intuitively, and just eat more food. The other is telling you it's impossible to increase your calorie intake because you'll just end up gaining weight. Both sides of the coin sound confident, but both also leave out one key piece that dictates someone's entire end result. I've successfully coached hundreds of clients through this exact transformation over the past 7 years. And what I found is that most of them had no idea that this concept even existed, let alone it being a strategy for losing weight and shedding fat naturally. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works. The variable that determines the end result. Most women are only paying attention to two key factors as it relates to weight loss, fat loss, and body transformation. They're thinking of how many calories they're eating and what the scale says. You may be on one side of the coin or the other. Maybe you feel like you're not eating that much food, so how are you gaining weight? Or why can't you lose weight at this calorie intake? And on the other side of the coin, you might know that you need to eat more food. You might know that you want to boost your metabolism, but you don't quite know how to do it. And you're also afraid that eating more food will lead to weight gain. If any of this sounds like you're not alone, because this is a big fear that most women have, and they don't always know how to navigate both situations. But how much you're currently eating tells us almost nothing about what your body is going to do with the calories that you are consuming. This means the food you're eating is either going to be burned or it's going to be stored as body fat. But you've probably heard that if you're skipping meals, you're not eating that much food, and you're just not really fueling yourself properly with balanced meals throughout the day and consistently, then yeah, your metabolism has probably slowed from years of underfueling, years of yo-yo dieting, and years of not having proper, consistent nutrition. So when you think about wanting to add calories to that, it just doesn't work that well. And when you eat too little for too long, your body doesn't really process those calories into fuel, and instead it starts to store it as body fat. This is done as a protection mechanism because it basically feels like you're starving. So you can imagine if you're trying to add food to an already sluggish metabolism, it just doesn't convert to weight loss, fat loss, or toning in definition. So if you're trying to boost your metabolism on your own, you're trying to eat more food, but it's not quite working the way that you want it to, honestly, I'm not surprised. And this is also how women can get stuck in that cycle of undereating and underfueling. But then in reality, they're experiencing creeping weight gain and they're wondering how, because they're not eating that much food. Like, where is this excess weight coming from? Then they go down the rabbit hole of probably my age, probably my hormones, probably my metabolism. And in all honesty, yeah, it's probably a combination of all three. But at the root of it is metabolic health. And that's what most women are ignoring. And like, girl, if you've been eating next to nothing, you're skipping meals, your calories have been inconsistent, like, yeah, no amount of food that you eat, whether it's too little or too much, is going to be converted into energy properly. Because let's be honest, you have a slow metabolism. It needs repairing. So before we go into weight loss mode and before we go into fat loss mode, before we can build muscle or tone or define or any of the things that most women come to me for help for, we have to repair the metabolism first. And that's what I'm going to cover next. So which side are you on? Either you have a fast metabolism where your body is processing the fuel that you're eating properly and efficiently, or you have a slow and sluggish metabolism where most things you're eating is just getting stored as body fat. What we're going to review next is going to help dictate your next step. So I need you to be really honest about which side of the coin you're on so that you can take the proper steps forward. Metabolic profile 1. Your metabolism is functioning well. You're enjoying 1,800 to 2,000 plus calories per day. Your energy is normal and your weight seems to change depending on how much food you're eating, whether it's less or more, you lose weight or you gain weight. For you, eating at this calorie count paired with a specific style of training like progressive overload can lead to body fat reduction and weight loss without changing your calories at all. This is a good thing. This is called body recomposition, where you decrease body fat and increase lean muscle mass at the same time. And that can be done at a calorie intake of about 1,800 or 2,000 plus calories. Metabolic profile 2. Your metabolism has slowed from years of under eating, skipping meals, surviving on your kids' leftovers, or snacking as you head out the door. You've been eating about 1,200 to 15, maybe 1,600 calories a day for weeks, months, or even years at this point. You feel tired, you get that afternoon slump, you just don't have the energy that you used to have, and even more frustrating is the scale seems stuck. You're plateauing and you can't seem to lose weight regardless of how much you're eating. You also have a tendency to gain weight, especially when you go on vacation or when you have a few extra treats. The result is your body is burning less calories each day. And this is all because you've been underfueling and down regulated for months or even years at this point. This is where most women feel stuck and frustrated. Now, I want you to ask yourself these two things. 1, have you been eating at 1,500 or 1,600 calories or less for months now? 2, has your weight plateaued or do you feel stuck on the scale even though you've been eating healthy and working out? Maybe you've even tried a calorie deficit and it still doesn't seem to budge. 3, are you constantly tired, cold, or you just feel like your body's not responding no matter what you do? If you answered yes to most of those questions, then yeah, your metabolism has probably downregulated and slowed. The good news is you can repair it. Yes, eating more food is going to help do that, but it has to be done strategic. Repair the metabolism first, then you can lose weight, shed fat, build muscle, and tone just like you wanted to. Now, I know that this isn't probably what you want to hear because yes, that means you have to spend extra time repairing your metabolism before your body responds to weight loss and fat loss protocol. But if your metabolism has slowed and your metabolic rate has dropped over time and you try to start adding more food to it without repairing your metabolism first, that's like trying to refill your water bottle with a fire hose that's on full throttle. It just doesn't work. If this is landing for you, hit subscribe. I post videos every week walking you through how to boost your metabolism so that you can lose weight and shed fat naturally and tone, tighten, and strengthen without cutting carbs, fasting, or doing psychotic fitness challenge. Now let's keep going. Here's the honest answer. For most women, eating 2,000 plus calories a day and losing weight and shedding fat at the same time is possible. And honestly, it can work faster and better and even tastier than most women expect. But on the opposite side of the coin, for the folks whose metabolisms are down-regulated from years of yo-yo dieting and chronic undereating and chronic underfueling, yes, eating more is something that you need to do to repair your metabolism, but this is likely going to take 8 to 12 to 16 weeks to get it back up and running. A client came to me last year after losing 50 pounds on a GLP-1, which good for her, but it down-regulated her metabolism. She came to me stuck on the scale, felt like she had hit a plateau, and she couldn't seem to lose any more weight on her own, especially after stopping the medication. When we dug in even further, we discovered that she was only eating 1,390 calories on average per day. So you probably know what we did. We spent the first few months boosting her metabolism through specific exercise and nutrition protocols so that she could become a calorie burning burning machine ahead of fat loss. She ended up leaning out, going from 1,400 calories a day all the way up to nearly 2,300 calories a day. Technically, she lost no weight throughout this time period, but you can see her body leaned out while eating almost double the amount of food. And this is a woman who's almost 50 years old. So this is proof in the pudding that it's not just about age, but rather in the state and the health of your metabolism. Now, the answer isn't just to eat more food, because again, we have to repair the metabolism first. But this is also how creeping weight gain can happen, especially if women are not eating that many calories. Now, you might be wondering, okay, Perry, that's great information, but like, shoot, what do? I don't think I'm eating that much food. I don't want to gain weight, but I know I need to eat more. What do I do? Well, good thing you asked, because that's exactly what we're going to cover next. Here's what you can do to fix your slow or down-regulated metabolism. Step 1, figure out which metabolic profile you are. If your metabolism is already functioning well and you're eating about 1,800, 2,000 plus calories a day, skip to step number 3. If your metabolism is slowed and you feel like you're eating around 1,400 to 1,600 calories or so per day, skip to step 2. Step 2, and this is where most people go wrong, because they think, okay, I'm eating 1,200 calories, I'll bump it up to 2,000 and everything will be fine. But like, girl, please do not do that, especially overnight. There's a rhyme, a reason, and a strategy for increasing your calories. And remember, this is all for the sake of boosting your metabolism. And a metabolism that's been in shock from years of undereating, stress, yo-yo dieting, and falling off the wagon isn't going to respond positively to a calorie shock. What it needs is a slow, intentional, and gradual increase over the course of 8 to 12 to 16 weeks. The client I mentioned earlier went from 1,100 calories all the way up 2,600 calories, but it took about 12 weeks. Now, by the time we got there after the 12 weeks were over, her metabolism had already fired up. It was revved up, and she was basically a calorie burning machine. So she had already lost 16 pounds in that 12-week period by eating more than double the amount of food. And that's what happens when you focus on boosting your metabolism. Step 3 is you have to be training and exercising in a certain way. And this is a non-negotiable, especially as you increase calories. Progressive overload strength training, where you follow the same workout every single week and beat your score by increasing your rep, increasing your weight, or increasing both, is the only way this works. And it should be done alongside your reverse diet as you increase calories. The even cooler part is the more food you have and the harder your training means more muscle. And the more muscle you have means you burn more calories. And the more calories you burn means the less body fat you'll have. So you can see how eating more food, training really hard, leads to more muscle, which leads to less body fat, which could mean that you're losing weight eating more food. And that's exactly what we do over here at Body Transformation Blueprint. Step 4, give it 8 to 12 to maybe even 16 weeks to fully repair before you go into fat loss. Now, I know you might be thinking, Perry, 3 to 4 months, ain't nobody got time for that. I've got a wedding too, and I need to lose 10 pounds for it. But this is why body transformation takes time, because no one's going to be able to repair your metabolism in a 30-day challenge. We need to work smarter, not harder, and giving yourself a full 8 to 12 to even 16 weeks to repair and boost your metabolism ahead of fat loss is always going to yield you better results over time. And more importantly, ones that you can maintain too. If you skip repairing your metabolism, fat loss will never work the way that you want it to. So the bottom line is, can you lose weight and shed fat by eating more food? And I'm talking 2,000 plus calories a day. The answer is yes. I've applied this strategy to myself, where I was able to lose 40 pounds naturally. And I've also worked with hundreds of clients who are completely blown away when I apply this strategy to them too. In fact, half of my clients are eating way more food and carbs than they ever have in their life, and they're leaning out at the same time. And honestly, doesn't this sound like a tastier approach than just suppressing your appetite and down-regulating your metabolism with a GLP-1? Like, I think so. And not only that, you can actually maintain your results long-term too, while enjoying more food. Like, how amazing. Now, the women who apply this strategy successfully aren't just eating more food and hoping for the best. They're doing this intentionally. And if you feel like you've been eating at the 14 to 1600 calorie mark, maybe you've been living in a calorie deficit for a long period of time, you're feeling stuck on the scale, and you feel like no amount of eating healthy and working out is working for you, I made a video about why your calorie deficit stopped working and what to do next. That video is linked right here on your screen. Click it to watch it next.